Thank you so much for joining us today on Coffee With. I'm here with a very familiar face, Dr. Paul Ballard, and we are in his office. Thank you for inviting us here today.
Sure.
We pulled you out between patients.
Yes.
To talk about the fun part of your life, right?
I have fun in dentistry too.
Oh, okay.
But,
yes, because dentistry sounds like so much fun.
Well,
I
a
know
lot of
when
it
I
is.
was here last week, you were gone, but I was here last week and it wasn't fun.
I see.
Anyway, thank you for having us here today. Now, we're going to start out talking about Breaking Up is Hard to Do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in the production? Or you're,
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that.
Well, the show is based on the music of Neil Sedaka, who wrote a lot of stuff back in the 60s and 70s. He wrote Breaking Up is Hard to Do, the title of the show. He wrote Love Will Keep Us Together. People may remember the Captain and Tennille version of that. I remember taking ballroom dancing, and Calendar Girl was real big back then when I was in junior high. That was a few years ago. And then there was Solitaire, that I think Elvis made a recording of, Lonely Nights, just a lot of things that will bring back memories when people
Lots
hear
of
the songs.
recognizable music.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is your role in the production?
Well, my character is named Harvey Feldman, and the show takes place in a resort up in the Catskills, and I am a comedian and a performer there at the resort. And it's a small resort, but so everybody has many jobs, and so I perform many functions there. But being sort of an MC is my job.
At the resort.
That's the main thing that I do. Yeah.
And of course, you sing during the performance, right?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. You sing when I come in and have my teeth done.
Well,
it's why I continue to come here, and because you're a good dentist.
Part of the ambiance, right? Maybe, shall we say?
Now, you have been involved in theater in this area for more than a few years, right?
Yes, a good deal more than a few. I started when I was in high school. I think the first show that I was in was about 65 or 66. That's 1965 or 66. And then when I was in college, I was a music major, and we did some shows there. And then when I came back to town as a band director, I was in little theater productions for the first time there. That was 73. And then I participated in a lot of musical activities around town. Decided to go back to school to become a dentist and follow in my father's footsteps. Sometimes I say, it took me a long time to decide what I wanted to be when I grew up, but the fact of it is I still haven't grown up. So I guess that argument's...
But you figured out what you want to be.
Yeah.
Right.
I enjoy dentistry. I enjoy taking care of my patients, and then musical theater and even straight shows are just a passion of mine. I enjoy them.
Now, y'all have the season set.
Yes.
What are some of the other productions you'll be doing this season?
Well, after we do Breaking Up is Hard to Do, the December production is a Christmas special. It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, how fun!
And so that's the staged version of the screen hit. The movie came out first, I believe, on that, and then people liked it, and they said, "Well, hey, can't we do this? We like to do seasonal specials, and you can only do Christmas Carol so many years running, and then you need to do something else." Miracle on 34th Street is one that's often done in community theaters. This one, It's a Wonderful Life, is what we'll be doing in December. Have some wonderful directors, Andrea Fairchild and Jeff Hensley, going to be collaborating on that one. I've worked with both of those. Andrea is in Breaking Up is Hard to Do.
We interviewed her and ran that earlier this week. We interviewed her and a couple of other folks.
Yeah, really strong talents, both of them. And then in January, last 2 weekends in January, I will be directing Forever Plaid, which is maybe some people haven't heard of that, but 4 guys get together and form a male quartet. And they met in high school, and they started rehearsing, and they got pretty good, and were on their way to their first job, their first paying gig, when they were instantly killed. And now, years later, they are transported through some time warp phenomenon to our theater, and realizing that they are now, at least in the world of the living, even if they're not exactly alive, they decide that, well, we had this show that we never really did. Why don't we do it now for this group of people who are here tonight? And so that's the show.
Now, was that a movie with Steve Martin? Or am I confused about something?
I'm
confused. Okay.
I'm not aware of it being one,
okay.
anyway.
Don't wear black.
That was it. It had the word plaid in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Everything's not firing right.
Forever plaid. And plaid really doesn't have anything to do with the music or the group, except they do, towards the end, adopt a Scottish theme with the plaid.
Oh, okay.
And so forth. And it's just a lot of really, it's music from the 50s and maybe early 60s. A lot of easy listening kinds of tunes. 3 Coins in a Fountain, Shangri-La, a lot of music like that, and done by a male quartet, so the harmonies are close. It's going to be a fun show. A lot of interplay between the characters. It's foolishness.
Now you're directing that one.
I'm directing that. Yes.
All right, but you're not going to be in the production.
I would rather not be if I'm directing.
Right.
The problem is the bass needs to have a really, really wide range, and I'm trying to get 4 guys who are of the same generation, so that it's believable that they were in high school together.
Yeah.
So those are my 2 parameters that I have to work around. And then our last of the season is The Foreigner, which is set in the South, and one that I think a lot of people can relate to. It's a comedy, and really just a charming show. The best of human nature kind of thing coming out. So.
Well, that sounds like a fantastic season.
And then we have Gold in the Hills and Fairy Tale Theater, our children's playhouse workshop that goes on in the month of June.
Uh-huh.
And Gold in the Hills will be in March and in July. So
we have a
2
lot
runs.
to look forward to this year.
It'll be busy.
Yes.
We also have a 1-act play that we take to state competition, and then we usually do it. It's sort of outside the season, so your membership wouldn't pay for that. But it's an interesting show to whatever it is that Ian decides to do.
Okay, well, you obviously have a wide range of interests and activities. What else do you do besides theater in your spare time?
Yeah. I remember having spare time. That's a long time ago. Well, I like water sports and water skiing in particular, which I have a favorite saying that goes, you're only as old as the girls you water ski with. And so I have some nieces who are younger, and I enjoy sharing, just like I enjoy sharing music, sharing theater, I share water skiing too, and water sports.
And where do you ski mostly?
Down at Lake Claiborne, just north of Port Gibson, on the way to the nuclear reactor in Grand Gulf. You'll pass a gated community, and that's
nice
that's Lake
place.
Claiborne.
Very nice.
It is
place.
pretty, and we've been members down there since the 1950s, and so I grew up doing that, and it gives us. This past weekend, we didn't get any skiing done, but it was still family time. My daughter and son-in-law were down there with us, and so we shared that time together, and that was special.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
What else do you do? Is there anything I hadn't asked you about that you want to be sure and talk about?
Well, church work. I'm the lay leader at Gibson Memorial United Methodist Church. That's my hat that I'm wearing this year. I've been finance chairman and on other committees. And then I'm also worship leader, which doesn't always tell you a whole lot about what you do, but in my case, I lead the singing on Sunday morning, the hymns, and I play guitar there. That's another passion of mine. And I'm a certified lay speaker in the Methodist Church, so sometimes I deliver the message if our pastor's going to be out. I could do it at other Methodist churches, but because of my commitment at Gibson, I really, the only times that I'm not there are when my wife and I are out of town. Mm-hmm. And I direct the choir at Gibson Memorial United Methodist Church. And I take out the trash and, clean up, whatever needs to be done.
Dr. Ballard, you stay really busy.
I do. And my wife and I, we went on our 30th wedding anniversary back a few years ago, and I took her to San Juan on the plane trip back. Well, we went to Puerto Rico, and then we got on a cruise ship and went to 4 other islands, and spent some time doing that. And coming back, our daughter was still in high school, and I said, "Sweetheart, Rachel's going to be graduating before very long, and that puts us kind of in that empty nest syndrome, and I don't want us to wake up one morning and say, I don't know who you are, and I'm not sure that I like you anymore if I ever did, and so we need to make some concerted efforts to find things that we do together." And Nancy doesn't share many of the activities that I do, and I don't share many of those that she does. But traveling is one thing that we like to do together. Uh-huh. And so since I've been able to bring in associates in the dental practice, that frees it up so that I can be gone, sometimes for continuing education things, but sometimes just to travel.
Well, where are some of the fun places y'all been?
We've been to Israel twice. That's an amazing, amazing land to go to. We've been to England and Ireland. I've been to Jamaica several times. Nancy has been twice. I've been there on mission trips using dentistry, as well as our cruise ship stops there sometimes. Mm-hmm. We've been to Mexico on numerous occasions, different parts. We've been through the Panama Canal, and that took us on the Pacific Ocean side and then into the Caribbean. We have been to Canada and Alaska. We've been to Hawaii. We're kind of looking at our next list of places we want to go. A number of them are within the continental United States. Uh-huh. So I think we'll be.
There's a lot to see in this country.
Oh, it is.
A whole lot to see. Okay, is there anything I haven't asked you that you want to talk about?
Well, in terms of the things that I do, so I'm 60 now. I'll be 61 in November, and I'm not ready to just roll over and play dead, whether I actually pass away at some point in the near future or not. But for me to feel alive, I'm involved in things. Mm-hmm. I try to keep my mind going, what's left of it, and the body seems to be doing okay, even with water skiing and other abuses that I subject it to. But in dentistry, there's a lot of new stuff going on, new technology that has really made our work easier. It's made it, in many instances, more pleasant for the patient. We have more options to offer our patients now than we used to. And so for me, it's a really exciting time to be a general dentist. Staying on top of it all is a challenge.
I bet.
You've got lots of trade journals every month that come in, and that I try to at least scan the titles and see what looks like I really want to delve into that particular subject or that article. When I went to down to the lake this weekend, Labor Day weekend, I took a number of journals that I had the time, because it was raining so much, and plenty of time to work on my lines for the show and to read up on stuff in dentistry. And some of it is related particularly and uniquely to dentistry, but a lot of it is just general health things. We'll come up with a new drug to deal with a problem. Maybe it's diabetes, or it's high blood pressure, or it's osteoporosis or something. And then down the road a little while, we find out, oh, well, this is a wonderful drug for what we thought it was, but there are other side effects that we couldn't. It didn't show up in the testing originally, and now we have to rethink it depending on what the side effects are, and the things about that osteonecrosis of the bone, which is particularly the two uses of those bisphosphonates. One is for postmenopausal women and osteoporosis. The other is it was used in certain cancer treatments. The cancer treatments were the worst ones in terms of producing these problems in jaw bones. A patient would have an extraction, and then it didn't heal up.
Oh, goodness.
And it could be very, very messy, and there were not many things that we had to do for it.
Uh-huh.
Kind of reminds me of the very early days when we started dealing with AIDS. Well, there wasn't much that we had to do. It's just if you had the diagnosis, that was your death warrant. But now we keep making improvements, and not only in dentistry but in medicine in general. So, and keeping up with stuff that's what I try to do.
It takes a lot of time, I know.
It does. But sleep is really overrated.
You're right.
You don't need much.
Okay, Breaking Up is Hard to Do. It's running Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Yes.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the
16th, 17th, 18th.
16th, 17th, 18th. Friday and Saturday, it's at what time?
7:30.
And Sunday?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. And do you know the price for the tickets?
Yeah, they vary. $12 for an adult, $10 for a senior citizen. And I've never been entirely clear what senior citizen was. If somebody walks up and they say, I'm a senior citizen, unless they're too short to get up to the window, we usually say, okay, sure, we believe you.
Yeah.
And then $7 for students.
Okay. And it's at the Vicksburg Theater Guild on Iowa.
The Parkside Playhouse.
Parkside, that's it.
Yeah,
I knew I had that wrong. Parkside Playhouse on Iowa.
Right.
Okay. Did I miss anything?
That's pretty much it. It's the people that you see on stage are a lot of the talent, but that's not all of the effort and the talent that goes into it. It takes the costuming, it takes the lighting, it takes the set construction, makeup enters into it, and then somebody to get the props, somebody to be the stage manager to make sure folks are ready to go out on stage when it's their time. All of those things are part and parcel of making a theater production come together. And it's probably one of the most complex art forms, because you have the visual, you have the auditory, you have the sound, you've got literature, and the drama comes into it. It's really, it takes a lot of people, and we never have enough volunteers for any of the jobs down there, even if it's something as mundane as taking the we call them rack cards, the things like brochures that the motels have.
Sure.
About things that are going on. Just somebody to go around and take those and make sure that those are stocked in the places where we try to keep them.
So if you want to volunteer, you can do that too?
Please do. Please do. Come to the show, and then it would be an opportunity for you to leave your name and phone number, address, and your area of interest.
Sure.
At the box office afterwards, and we'll try to get your name put with the person who's kind of in charge of what you're interested in doing. If it's lights, then we'll get you going on that.
Thank you so much for joining me today on Coffee With, and we'll look forward to getting together again when y'all have some other productions coming up.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Promotional consideration provided by
Amber Sanders from Happy Hair. Get your hair happy at 3402 Wisconsin Avenue.